Hey everybody, this is Susan. I just want to make a quick video about the zine in Word. I just want to point out a couple of things. In classes, under the social justice paper section here in the table of contents, there are a few files. And I hope that you've seen these by now. If not, I want to point them out. This is the presentation with the zine history and sort of contextualization of it. This is the zine template in Word that I created for you to make this assignment easier. And then this is an example of a zine that I made in Word. So first I want to show you the example of the zine in Word. And I think I already have it. Let me make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Okay. So here is a zine that I made. So you'll see that I'm in the landscape orientation. So if you go to layout, orientation, landscape, and then columns, there are 2 columns. And what I did was I went through and I numbered each page in a way that I know works, so that when I print this out double-sided, all the pages will fall into place and I'll have a booklet. So this zine is in Word, but it is not designed to be read in Word. If you read it in Word, the pages are out of order. You can do it. You can jump to the correct page. Here's page 1 is the cover. Page 2 is here. But if I want to get to page 3, I have to jump down here. So, that's because this is designed to be printed, double-sided, folded, and turned into a little booklet. Now, the trick here is to keep these page numbers where they are. So page 8 is really the back cover. Page 1 is the front cover. Page 2 is the first page inside the zine. I'll show you a copy of what it looks like in a minute when it's printed out. Page 7, this looks weird. Page 2, page 7, but it's correct. Page 6, page 3, same deal, looks weird, but it's correct. And then the only 2 pages that are in quote in order, are pages 4 and 5. And that's like the center of the zine. So let me do a new share for a second, or stop sharing and put on my video. So you can see this is what the zine looks like after it's been downloaded and printed double-sided. And you have to flip it on the short edge for that to work. And you can see, now I've got, it's backwards, sorry, but it's not very helpful, is it? But this is page 2, this is page 3. Now they're in order. That's my point. 4 and 5 go together. They're like the center. You could even do a setting in Word to turn off the 2 columns so that you have just 1 column here, and you could put like one really big picture. I could show you how to do that if you can't figure it out. It's not super hard. It just requires, figuring it out in Word, just sort of experimenting with the columns. And then here's page 6, 7, and the back cover. So that's what we're talking about. This is a zine. It's not really a zine until you print it out. Now, there are other ways to make zines entirely digital. That's another story, and that might be an assignment in another class. But to go back to the template, the trick here is that every time you add or remove or move something, the page numbers shift. So for example, if I took out this image, see, page 2 is now in the middle of this page, which is really page 1. So what happens is whenever you move, add, delete, you need to fix your page numbers. So I need to get page 2 back where it belongs. So I would go like this. I'm just hitting the enter bar until it lands back down here again. Well, now I have all this empty space because I had removed that image. So I could insert something new, insert pictures. let's just pretend like I'm going to put this band flyer. And so this is a good example. It's too big. It's jumped to the next page. It's kind of messed everything up. So one thing I'm going to do is highlight it, go to the corner here, left click and make it smaller. And then I'm going to cut it. And I'm going to come back up to page 1 and see if I can now, if it'll now fit. Yes. And in fact, I can make it a little bigger. I want to make it as big as I can without jumping off the page. And it's a little too big. So keep sort of finessing it. Here we go. So now I'm back. I've got page 1. Clearly, this is off the topic of zines and pamphlets now, but at least I'm still in the world of alternative music. And now my page 2 has moved down here. So I need to put my cursor right in front of the P, hit the backspace until I get back to the top again. And, you know, it's easy to go too far. So then you hit enter, get back. And then I just want to take a look around and make sure everything is where it belongs. Yes. So maybe I want to take out this text. I just hit delete. Now page 6 has moved up onto page 7. So again, I have to get in front of that P, hit enter until it lands back where it belongs. And now I have space to put more text in here or another image or whatever I might want to do. Let's say I want to move this somewhere else on the page. Well, I can do it, but it messes up all my text, you see. So I might just say, you know what, that's more trouble than it's worth. I am going to undo what I just did. And I'm just using that little arrow in the very upper left column, you know, to undo whatever you just did. I could move it, but it does take some work to make sure the text isn't still in the right place and everything. I like to use the wrap tight feature. So like if I'm on this image and I right click where it says wrap text, I have it on tight, and that means that the text will go next to the image instead of around it. If I change this to wrap text in line with text, it just kind of screws everything up. So I'm going to go back to wrap text tight, and there. I guess my point is I recommend using wrap text tight throughout your zine. Wrap text tight. You can experiment with the other settings, but this is, to me, the easiest way to do it. So again, to review, the point is make sure you keep your page numbers where they belong while you're working.